It is not atypical to have multiple systems and processes working in silos, creating a heavier lift for employees and a lack of cohesion across an organization. Dynamics works to create a unified experience for contacts and employees, bringing all teams under the same platform, making it easier to collaborate and gain a 360 view of your contacts. Throughout the demo, I will be highlighting some functionalities that are native to the Dynamics system. I will use a fictitious company called CDI Volunteer Match to walk you through both the contact's perspective as well as the Dynamics user's perspective. Everything will be branded to our demo company. However, I want you to think about this as the start of exploring how this system could work for you and your own individual use cases. For example, while CDI Volunteer Match is a nonprofit organization, the concepts of interacting with contacts in varying ways through events, marketing communications, customer service, surveys, and web portals can be easily transferred and applied to other scenarios in association and education-based organizations. CDI Volunteer Match is a nonprofit organization that has multiple types of contacts, each with different levels of communication and touchpoints. These contact types include volunteers, stakeholders, and donors. Some of the key pain points this organization looked to alleviate were the organization of data, lack of processes that utilized automation to free up employee bandwidth, and reporting ease, with the goal to create a system that allows for easy asks and easy finds when it comes to data. CDI Volunteer Match focuses on volunteer resourcing for programs throughout the city. CDI sources the volunteers, and partners and various organizations run the programs. One type of program that CDI manages volunteers for is the education programs run through the City Independent School District. Now that you're familiar with CDI Volunteer Match, let's look at a new member and member management scenario that will utilize products including customer service, customer voice, marketing, Power BI, Power Pages, and Teams. The new member and member management journey demo shows an ideal end-to-end member journey including automated contact creation, event management, and automated contact deactivation. The demo shows the efficiencies of the system for this journey, including subscription management, constituent management, automated contact creation processes, and automated event management processes. Let's go over some of the key personas in our story before we dive into the demo. Julie Jones is a new resident to the city and is interested in volunteering to meet new people. She was an elementary school librarian before retiring and would like to use some of her past experience when volunteering. Sam Schmidt is the Education Programs Manager at CDI Volunteer Match. He works to conduct volunteer training and management of the education program volunteers. He uses the information and insights from the system to report on the progress of the volunteer program and create engaging quarterly volunteer newsletters. Now that we have gone over the key personas in our story, let's look at this from Julie's perspective as she interacts with CDI Volunteer Match. Like I mentioned, Julie is interested in finding a volunteer opportunity in her new city. She comes across an Instagram ad on CDI Volunteer Match's Instagram page, showing they have volunteer opportunities for the education programs. She clicks on the ad to sign up to volunteer. Julie is directed to a landing page with the sign-up form. She completes the sign-up form and selects Education Program as her volunteer program interest. CDI Volunteer Match has created an automated registration process to have potential volunteers attend a mandatory virtual volunteer training before they begin volunteering. Now that Julie is signed up as a potential volunteer based on her submission of the sign-up form, she receives automated marketing communications to help her sign up for the virtual volunteer training and complete her volunteer registration process. Using the registration link in her welcome email, Julie is directed to sign up for an upcoming training opportunity. Julie reviews the date and time on the event website. After confirming this training works for her schedule, she completes the event registration page, submits the form, and registers for the event. When Julie signs up for the virtual volunteer training, she receives an automated registration confirmation email that includes an Add to Calendar button, as well as a link to the Teams webinar. Julie uses the Join Training button to attend the training webinar. This link is native to Dynamics and personalized to Julie. This will help Dynamics create check-in and check-out records for Julie for this event. These records can then be used by CDI Volunteer Match and the Dynamics system to confirm Julie's attendance for the training. After attending the virtual training, Julie receives an automated email to complete a post-training survey. Similar to the Teams link in the previous email, this survey link is personalized to Julie and will help Dynamics track the submission of her post-training survey. After completing the post-training survey, Julie receives a survey submission confirmation email that includes a file of a downloadable training badge. This email is a great example of some of the native capabilities within the email designer in Dynamics. The email contains dynamic text that changes based upon who is receiving the email. Here, Julie's name is populated, along with the name of the training event that she attended. Additionally, the button in this email contains a link to a file download. Buttons can also link to URLs, event pages, Teams check-ins, surveys, and calendar downloads. After the training, Julie goes to explore the CDI Volunteer Match portal and clicks on the FAQs page. She then clicks on the "Which program should I volunteer for?" question. Using the link in the FAQ, Julie visits the program descriptions page and reads all the volunteer program descriptions. Julie thinks that volunteering for the food pantry also sounds interesting. Julie navigates to her profile within the CDI Volunteer Match portal, where she adjusts her interests to include the food pantry as well as the education programs. Because Julie has completed the mandatory volunteer training, she begins to receive monthly volunteer sign-up emails that prompt her to sign up to both the education program and food pantry program volunteer shifts via her volunteer portal. This is an example of the native segment functionality within Dynamics. Segments determine who receives marketing communications. In this example, CDI Volunteer Match has created a segment of certified volunteers, including all contacts who have completed the mandatory volunteer training. Julie uses the email link to browse the volunteer shifts on the CDI portal. She selects and then registers for an upcoming education program volunteer shift. Because Julie is logged in to the CDI Volunteer Match portal, signing up for an event will automatically register her for the event using her Dynamics contact record instead of having her fill out an event registration form. After registering, she receives a volunteer shift sign-up email with a QR code. Julie attends the volunteer shift for the education program using the QR code from her email to check in and out of the shift. This QR code function is a native part of Dynamics. Personalized QR codes can be added to emails, and then, using the Dynamics app, mobile devices can scan the QR code to create a check-in record for the contact. After checking out of the shift, Julie receives a thank you email with a survey asking about her volunteer experience. She uses the link in the email to complete her volunteer shift survey. As you can see here, customer voice surveys have multiple features and functionality that allow for highly customizable surveys and reporting. One example is creating question branching logic within the survey to hide or show certain questions. Another example is the ability to utilize satisfaction metrics for questions to measure things such as Net Promoter Score, sentiment, customer satisfaction, and even custom scoring, where you can customize base scores and weighting. For example, you could add custom scoring to the Likert scale within this survey. Julie moves to a new city and is no longer able to volunteer with CDI Volunteer Match. However, she continues to receive monthly volunteer sign-up emails. A year after attending her last volunteer shift, Julie receives an email informing her that her profile will be deactivated due to inactivity. Julie does not attend an event within the allotted time. Because of this, Julie stops receiving all communications from CDI and her account is now automatically labeled inactive. Now, I would like to pause to highlight how automation using Dynamics has reduced the communication workload for Sam, CDI's Education Program Manager, allowing for him to focus on growing and improving the education program for CDI Volunteer Match. Sam's only manual input within this experience was to host the Teams webinar. All communication to Julie and other volunteers was automated. Since Sam does not have to manually send any communications, he can focus on interpreting the insights generated by the system. For example, Sam can review the report built in Power BI for automated visualization of the volunteer shift survey. Power BI is a tool that allows you to connect data sources and build reports to visualize data. Here, Power BI is pulling volunteer shift survey data directly from customer voice. The Power BI report is able to filter survey responses based on type of volunteer shift, specific responses, and more, allowing Sam to analyze and make program changes for the best volunteer experience. All in all, this scenario shows how Dynamics allows for automated member management with limited employee interaction. As I said before, efficiencies of the system include subscription management, constituent management, automated contact creation processes, and automated event management processes. As you can see, Dynamics creates a unified contact and employee experience. Dynamics makes it seamless for your team to share and organize information about your contacts, interact with those contacts, and compile reporting information regarding those contacts and interactions.